Hey, I'm March.
Flynn.
Kella.
Shreya.
Oma.
And I'm your DM, Ethan. Welcome to Venture Forth. Previously, you guys had ventured deep within the shadow Timberland. You guys had followed a series of glowing trees that Shreya had identified as sort of these protection trees. Venturing into the forest, you guys saw the shadows that had been creeping out over the river that you guys were riding are now creeping out towards you guys on the ground. And the branches of the trees seem to be reaching out at you guys like limbs. You guys noticed that these glowing trees, though, radiated an energy in about a 20-foot radius that kept these shadows at bay. And this allowed you to hop sort of from tree to tree, going deeper into the forest until you guys eventually found a commune. A commune full of elves that was living there, seemingly just very frightened and terrorized by these shadows that have been creeping in. Shreya was welcomed home by one of his good friends there. You guys were all sort of investigating exactly what was going on and found out that a couple days ago, just seemingly spontaneously, these shadows began terrorizing people. You guys found an elven man by the name of Alothar, shaking on the ground. He was one of the only people who has ever returned from the shadows in these last couple days. Trying to shake him out of whatever ailed him, the fever that was ailing him. You guys were unable to speak with him. You guys sort of investigated a little bit more what was going on with Farlane, who was Shreya's friend. And you guys decided that it would probably be best to go out into the forest with the sunlight above you in the morning. So you guys all went to bed, some of you guys taking watch, and on Kellick's watch, he was able to cast a spell that temporarily seemed to dispel whatever ailed this man that was laying on the ground. The man, Alothar, very violently was shaken awake and told tales of going into the forest, chasing these goblins, and seeing visions of a red wolf before losing all memory and not knowing exactly how he came back into camp. You guys awoke, Shreya also having visions that night of a red wolf, and you guys sort of debated what exactly you guys were going to do. So, with the early morning light greeting you guys and the warmth of the day sort of taking over this commune, you look to the north and you see those couple of trees that's glow has been diminished by the shadows. And you look to the south comparatively to where the trees are still vibrant and glowing and radiating this protective energy. So, looking at these trees to the north, what would you guys like to do?
Flynn would just, after running over helping out the Alothar, realizing that he's kind of just back in his normal state, and whenever he was thinking, he wasn't as serious as I thought. So he'll just kind of like help him get back off of his side, I think, because you said he fell, and he'll kind of help him sit back up in that corner, kind of make sure the blanket's on him, and then just return to the party and kind of, all right, I guess he seems fine for the moment. Do we feel like we're ready to go out and check out the wards and maybe go to the north and find out where these goblins are?
Yes, I think as long as we have some sense of what we're headed into, we know there's some dangerous red wolf spirit out there. I'm not so versed in Eldoria's teachings, but I know she's a being of nature, and this being a forest and all. I am curious to know if there's some kind of relationship here with this red wolf and Eldoria and what would appear, if I'm not mistaken, to be an ebb in her power to protect this forest from the shadows.
DM, would Flynn maybe have any knowledge of this red wolf? Does that spark any ideas of his research on wolves before? Does he know if there's like a variant of this type of wolf? Does that anything like that?
Yeah, make a nature check for me.
Sure. Let's see what my bonus is. It's 2. 10 total.
10 in total.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing really sparks anything in your memory of a red wolf.
Okay. That's it. Just want to know if he maybe knew that.
Shreya, you said you were fated to come to this commune. Is there some reason that you felt that way?
Ever since I last left the distant lands from where I came, I've been searching for a mythical land that I'd only been told about in stories. A place where beings and nature live in harmony as one and the same. First, I thought this place was the place I was looking for, but then as the shadows encroached, I realized that perhaps this was a place that needed to be healed first. But I had no ability or skill to combat the sort of shadows that seemed to be creeping in. I do believe it is my task to help heal this land, and perhaps some of the skills and visions that I've cultivated in my life up until this point might help me, along with all of you, revive this land and bring it back to the light. As someone of the light yourself, I have nothing but respect for your ways and your healing powers. But I tend to think that we are all fated to find who we're meant to find and to be where we're meant to be, more generally.
Well, then what of this red wolf? What does this have to do with your fated path? Do you know of this wolf? Do you recall anything about it?
There was a time, seemingly in a past life, where I ended up running with a pack of wolves in my native land. However, I was told I was no longer welcome among their ranks, and it is that trajectory that has lent me here. I do not know from where this particular wolf comes or that particular kind of coloring on the wolf, and there's something strange about the wolf in its figure. There is a chance I might be able to communicate with this red wolf. Just a chance. If it is friend. But that is leaving a lot up to chance. I was not getting very friendly sentiments from this wolf when I saw him in the vision.
Right. Well, we have a monster hunter with us and a bird who can speak to wolves, so I feel very equipped. Is there anything we need to prepare between the two of you?
Well, from my experience with wolves, they like to hunt in packs, and they like to try and pick off stragglers. So maybe stick together. Maybe we do that rope thing we've been doing so we can't get pulled away. I know you weren't a fan of it, but
fucking rope thing.
If it saves your life, it's worth it.
Yeah, sure. Fair enough.
They also don't like fire, if I remember correctly, but I don't really think we're going to be having much of that. It seemed like when I held your oar that was glowing near the shadows, it dimmed as I held it. So it looks like the trees are the only thing really giving us light out here. But maybe when we're under a tree, maybe fire can be used as a deterrent for these wolves or this red wolf. Other than that, I think it's going to be kind of just we play it by ear. You know.
That's sensible. That sounds good. Yeah, I mean, there's definitely some aversion to the light if our friend Alothar is any indication. But the shadows being all-consuming as they are, I don't know what aid light magic will have for us.
Yeah.
Well, March, do you want to lead?
I thought you'd never ask. Red wolves, shadows. So excited.
As we make our way out I would like to sort of take Alothar's hand and just place it against the stone wall to just try and like remind him where he is. I'll follow you, March.
All right. Let's go. I'm going to be very outwardly trying to display this. Yes, let's do this. I'm here, but inwardly just still, again, not the biggest fan of this idea of shadows and things we can't see.
Okay.
Northward, right?
Northward.
Onward, ho, I think is how the expression goes.
So
But we're going north, right? Or
Yes.
or is onward a direction that I
Not a
didn't know
cardinal
about?
direction.
I mean,
Okay.
north then.
I
Yes.
get it. Just like forward.
Yeah,
I get it.
in the general north direction. Yes.
So you guys are walking north towards the edge of the forest there, just outside of the commune. You guys begin to cross the threshold into the forest, and you look out, and you see that the trees that were connecting you guys to get into the commune extend again northward. It's sort of this line that goes straight through the commune. As you guys begin to move through the forest, you notice at this point that the glow from the trees is greatly diminished here. And the path from tree to tree, there's going to be some shadows in between. So, as you guys walk forward, what is your marching order going to be?
Just as a point of clarity, because there's light out, it's not as shadowy as when we first, like the shadows aren't as deep as when we first arrived,
Correct.
right? Okay.
Correct. Yes. The sunlight is sort of pushing back some of the shadows, but the diminished light from the trees is still not able to keep back the shadows.
Right.
For the order, do we want to do? I think March said she was leading, right? And then Shraya's. This is his area, so maybe him up front as well. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And then I'll just take the back again, and then whoever wants to be in the middle.
I will be in the middle.
I'll stay in the middle.
I'll be right behind March.
I'll pull out my rope. I'll hand it to March, and then I'll kind of walk down the line and kind of hand a piece. Like I'll like hold it out. Hold it up. Here you go. Here you go. Here you go. I'll get to Caleb. Like, here you go, buddy. Take it.
I will.
Take it.
I will just take it and just tie it to my belt, or just like loop it loosely around my belt. Not even.
Atta boy. And I'll just kind of stand behind him and start. I'll tie it to my belt. Start walking. Follow the group.
Okay.
As it gets darker, as I notice it get darker and darker, I grab my staff and pulse it against the ground a few times, and toward the top of it, from the crystal at the top, a couple of like tiny little electrical currents start gathering and concentrating near the very tip of the crystal, and right at the very top, this subtle, like, small little flame just forms right above the staff.
Okay.
Cool.
Nice.
Cool.
Cool.
As we're walking along. Hey, Flynn?
Yeah.
Is now when you wanted to have that bonding talk?
Yeah. See how it
Now?
kind of feels weird to do it right now, right?
I'm standing in between, so
Yeah, you
almost in
are.
front of me. One is behind me.
Yeah, it's weird. I don't know. Maybe you just bond as you go and you can't schedule them?
I'll have to write that down.
No, by all means. Carry on. Carry on bonding.
I mean, it is kind of helping with the creepiness of this place.
You've already employed a very beautiful metaphoric thing by actually binding us together with a rope. You may as well.
I'm glad you see
cool.
the resemblance there. What I'm trying to do. It really, you're quick.
You're really tying us together, huh?
Hey. Yeah.
I'm gonna just give a quick glance back to Shreya and thank you for the light, by the way.
It is the least I can do in times like this.
So you guys are continuing forward, hopscotching sort of from one tree's glow to the next. And you guys make it 6 trees in, 7 trees in. And the glow begins to get smaller and smaller from each tree until you get to the 8th tree. And after that, you don't see anything. You don't see any glow anywhere.
Do we see any appearance of a scuffle between like goblins and elves? Do we see anything that would appear like maybe this is where that occurred?
Yeah, like footprints or like broken pieces of the trees or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So Flynn and Olma, you guys can either make a investigation or a survival check.
Why don't I assist you?
Okay.
And you go ahead and roll twice.
Sure.
Since you're the hunter of the party.
Yeah, I have a decent survival. So Flynn will kind of like just think about his training and like kind of get down to the ground, kind of start looking around. Maybe beckon Shreya over for the light because he can't really see in the dark, and just kind of like look around and explore the area. So I will roll with advantage. That is a 14 total.
14. You do see 3 pairs of humanoid footprints right on the path that you guys are going, leading beyond the light of the trees and into the darkened forest.
Hey, Shreya, these look like maybe something we should follow. Do you see how they kind of go into the darkness? I think maybe you just keep a light on it and just keep trudging along and following it. I can stay up here at the front and help you keep an eye out for them if you'd like.
Can I tell how large these beings were based on the footprints?
Yeah, humanoid, medium in size. Not exactly looking like your footprints, Shreya, but similar to that of Kellic.
Yes, I suggest we follow these. Onward.
Into the dark and scary. Just to clarify, into the dark and scary shadows, right? That's what you're recommending? That's what we're all agreeing that's what we're gonna do.
I think the way out of our troubles this time is through.
So that's a yes. Okay. Just clarifying. I pull out another torch and I light it.
DM, has Shreya's beacon of light been diminishing every time we entered the shadow, every time we crossed through like the overlap or the lack of overlap between the trees?
Yeah, just for a brief moment on that overlap, Shreya's light has very subtly diminished.
Gotcha. Well, hopefully those torches are of some use, or otherwise we'll be couched in shadows for the length of it.
Yeah, I'm gonna look into my little torchlight and breathe in the smoke that it's giving me and run my hand kind of close to it to feel the warmth, and it doubles in size of the amount of light it gives.
Okay.
I will reflexively touch my my 3 rings on my necklace as we approach the shadows.
And as I'm up front, I'm going to once again get that warhammer and also my shield ready. And take a deep breath and take a step into the dark. I'm handling this fine.
As I see March starting to grab toward her weapons, I whisper something into the crystal flame, and suddenly the staff becomes energized and basically just prepping Shillelagh on the staff.
Okay. As each of you step through into the shadow, one by one, you look around and immediately everything in your vision becomes completely desaturated and devoid of color. You guys can barely pick out the green of the trees or the brown of the bark on them. And you feel just the core of your body drop a couple degrees as this cold shiver runs up your spine. Olma, your torch or your light that has been doubled now reduces back to its normal size. And Shreya, your light diminishes by half as well. So, as you guys are looking around, would you guys like to continue moving forward?
As we do, I will once again call upon the eyes of the grave and wave my hand over my eyes and light it up with orange embers.
Okay. Looking around now with Eyes of the Grave, you get the same sense as you did before. These trees themselves are not undead, but they are sort of coated in some sort of undead presence. And as you guys take a couple steps into the shadows, you sort of look around at the desaturated colors around you, and you catch a glimpse back at the path that you guys had taken with the glowing trees. And as you look back, you no longer see any trees glowing. You cannot differentiate between what is shadow tree around you and what is the trees that were glowing. You no longer see the path back to the commune. So, you guys continue to head off into the forest for a couple of minutes. I'm going to need each of you guys to make a wisdom saving throw for me.
Got it. Let's see.
All right then.
Wisdom. Ooh.
Cannot roll today, man.
So I rolled a 1, but halfling. 19. Okay.
Nice.
Let's go. Halfling, that's right. Okay. I got a 21.
Same.
Hey,
Nice.
8.
Unnatural 20.
Oh,
Nice.
23.
okay. Kellic,
Oh, buddy.
you are just, you're restrained and you are tied down by these people. You need to get this rope off of you and you need to get away. You need to get free. You don't necessarily need to.
Is this a charm effect? Because I do have advantage against being charmed.
Yes.
Sweet.
I was going to say, also, it'd be really hard for you to untie yourself when you looped it
Don't
around
worry,
your belt.
I still blew it.
Yay.
Oh, no.
Keep the narrative going. I love it.
That's a 10. So carry on.
Yeah. So,
Change your
Kellic-
dice.
you
Honestly.
don't need to get away. You don't need to get away from the people. You just need to not be tied to them. You need to be free from this rope.
I will, as quietly and understated as I can, remove the loop I've tied of the rope.
How?
I'll unbuckle and rebuckle.
Oh.
Oh.
Okay. Can I have everyone's passive perceptions, please?
Yeah.
Just 12.
That's 14.
But I'm
for
right
me.
behind him. I'm holding onto the rope right behind
Mhm.
him. But my passive perception is 12.
And what do you add again? It's 10 plus your wisdom, or is it do you add your perception?
It's your wisdom.
12.
12.
A 14.
Okay. Nice. Kellic, I'm going to have you roll a sleight of hand check.
Okay.
Roll with the
So-
same dice.
So how we're going to do this, if he beats anyone, they do not notice.
12.
What was it?
It was a 12.
A 12.
So I beat
Okay.
everybody but Shreya, I think.
So everybody but Shreya notices
I see
Kellic
everything.
reaches down and he begins to undo his belt.
Are we still in a single file line? So I'm behind him, looking at him, seeing this.
Correct.
But none of us-
Well,
None of us noticed.
Nobody sees it but Shreya.
Except for Shreya.
Oh, I'm sorry. I got that wrong.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's right, because Shreya is 14. Okay. I'm sorry. I got that
Well-
completely flipped. Shreya,
It's fine.
you notice just a very slight tug on the rope behind you. A little bit stronger than what the normal walking pace was. And as you turn around, you notice that Kellic is attempting to untie his belt.
Kellic, is everything all right? Well, why are you trying to break from the pack?
I'm not doing anything, Shreya. Leave be. I'm just... This connection metaphor is just saccharine. I can't stand it. I just want to solve the problem ahead of us. That's all.
Yes, I know you're not a fan of being bound like this, but do it for the small one. We're all playing our part here. We're all becoming...
Yes, and I'm perfectly willing to play my part. I'm here with the group, all right? I've come along, and I'm going to help, but I just don't want to be tied to you. It's ridiculous.
I mean, if it really bothers you, man, I guess you can... It's just I want you to be safe, and I feel like if you're not tethered down to us, I understand that I have a cool metaphor for it, but it's really just to keep you safe. But if you don't want to, you don't have to be. Just stay within my eyesight, so if you get, like, pulled in by a branch, I can come get you.
All right, I'll be fine.
All right, here, give me the other end of the rope. I'll just tie it up to myself.
I would like to try to stealthily hold on to Kellic's robe at the back.
Okay. Make a sleight of hand check.
Ooh, beefed it. Go ahead, sorry.
And Kellic, what's your passive perception?
16.
I have a really good sleight of hand.
I actually have a question about passive perception. If I'm proficient in perception, do I add my proficiency to it? Because my perception's a +4, but my wisdom modifier is a +2. Would I have a?
Oh, maybe.
I think that's
a good question.
I don't know.
I think it does.
Okay, then maybe I have a 14. Either way, it's not a big deal. Just for the future, so I know what to call. Because passive perception is something I always forget how to add up.
1 second, give me a second.
I don't know. On my sheet, I don't have it. I don't have perception.
Because I also have advantage in perception, and I have a wisdom of +4. So that's why I have +6. I have a 16 perception or passive perception.
Okay, so if it adds the
sense.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Then I probably just have 14. Okay, that's good to know for like in the future.
Sure. Well, you know either way now. So.
Yeah. Oh, it has it. Okay, here we're good. It's 14.
My sleight of hand was a 9.
Not quite good enough. Kellic, you notice Oma trying to keep you tied up.
I'm just gonna hold. I'm just holding. I'm not trying to tie him to anything. I'm just.
Kellic, Oma is trying to keep you bound to them.
Oma, it's gonna be all right. You don't need to cling so much.
Yes, I trust that this one is quite strong with the light. I would say to both our littler party members, I think he can handle himself. He said he's been fighting darkness all his life.
Oma,
Fine.
if you want to hold my hand, you can hold my hand.
I don't need to hold your hand.
Okay, all right. Trying to be helpful.
I just let go and I just cross my arms.
Cool.
Okay. As you guys continue on into the forest, the temperature begins to continually drop. It's not very dramatic. You guys don't feel like shivering cold, but it's noticeable at this point. And
I pull my hood up.
I'm gonna, being at the front, I'm going to slow my pace just ever so slightly, just almost to like a shuffle, as I notice that it's getting slightly colder every time I shuffle forward.
Okay, so I'm going to have Flynn and Shreya. You guys, I'm going to have you guys both make a dexterity saving throw.
Sure.
Uh-oh. Okay.
Uh, 21.
That's a 10.
All right. So, Flynn, you look down and you see, you notice it just in time. A vine begins to reach out towards your foot and try and wrap itself around your ankle. Shreya, you don't notice in time as this vine makes its way around your ankle and quickly wraps up around your leg and begins to pull you off into the forest. You are attached to everyone else. So,
Except for me.
except for Kellic. Yeah. So as you are being pulled off into the forest, I'm going to have so March is in front, and who is directly behind Shreya?
I thought it was Kalik. So if Kalik's directly behind Shreya, wouldn't that mean that it's only me attached to Shreya, technically?
I think
It's all one rope.
It's all one rope.
It's all one rope.
Okay.
So I've just
Yeah, I
removed myself from the link.
Got it.
So then that would be Olma. So March and Olma, both of you guys make a...
I guess my question is on what side is Kellic on? Is the Kellic on the side that would feel it be tugged, or is he on the other side of the rope now where he wouldn't feel it? You know what I'm saying? Because his body potentially could block also.
I will roll to see. He is on the side that's going to get clotheslined by this rope.
That's good.
So, yeah, Kalik, you're in the way of this thing pulling. So, March and I'm going to say Kalik, make us an athletics check to see if you guys can grab onto the rope that is pulling Shreya away.
Natural 20.
Oh, nice.
21.
21. Okay, a couple of really good rolls. So you guys are able to hold on and begin to pull Shreya back towards you guys. And after a second or two, the vine that's holding onto his ankle snaps, and you guys are able to get him back towards you guys.
Shreya, are you okay?
The heck?
Same forces that came to me in the dream seem to be manifesting themselves out here in this darkened wood. And I start to, thrash around a little bit. My wings kind of instinctively flare out, and I sort of take off from the ground, not remembering that I'm still attached to everyone.
Shreya, wait!
And then as I see everyone sort of like lift in the rope a little bit, I remember myself and I say, "Oh no, right," and I come back down to the forest floor.
Shreya, it'll be all right. That's why we have this. That's why we have this rope. We got you, buddy. And as I'm talking and I'm looking at Shreya saying that, and I'm like holding the rope back up towards Kalik, but I'm looking at Shreya while I'm saying that, like, "Hey, it'll be all right. It'll be okay." And I'll kind of like nudge him with it, Kalik, with the rope.
I acknowledge no such nudging. Completely.
After a few seconds, I just drop it. I'm like, all right, let's keep going.
Okay. As you guys continue on, you guys continue to experience the same cold, creeping energy that is now running up the back of your neck. And at this point, you can almost just see your breath. It's getting to be just about that cold. And you look around at the trees around you, and the trees themselves look like they're almost shivering in the cold.
Can we still see the foot tracks that we're tracking? Like, we haven't lost sight of them. We're still following them successfully.
You guys are still following the footsteps, yes.
Cool.
After a couple more minutes, you guys are traveling, and you see off sort of on your right and on your left the beginnings of a spider web.
No.
Mm-mm.
And this isn't, just like normal everyday spiders. These are massive spider webs.
Does anyone have a torch lit? I can't remember. Someone lit a torch?
I have a torch.
Olma has a torch.
And it is a light. It's just dimmed.
It is dimmed, yes.
It's actually just a normal light. It's providing as much as any torch would provide, because I had doubled it, and then it would reduce by half.
And it is still essentially working, like there's still a flame, right?
Mm-hmm. The flame itself has not been reduced, just the light that it's giving off is being reduced.
Once it starts getting colder and Flynn sees the spider webs, he'll kind of, hold on guys, let me get one of those out too. And he'll just kind of set his bag down, pull out a torch, light it, because he sees the spider webs, he sees it's getting colder. So now Flynn has a torch out at the back of the group, and he's kind of like, all right, good to go.
I will take the almost catch an ember that's flying off of that torch and like redirect it back into the torch and say Ostende Nobis and cast light on that torch as well. And so if it's dimmed, then it's, I don't know, it's 20 feet of bright light and 20 feet of dimmed light. So I don't know how much that helps or doesn't do anything, but it's worth trying.
Yes, the light is reduced. As soon as you cast it, the light sort of recedes back into itself and is reduced to half of that. So, seeing the spider webs off on your right and your left, they're not too dense, but you guys are able to keep moving forward.
Do they look like natural spider webs or like shadowy spider webs?
Make a nature check.
Could I give her advantage on that?
Yes, you can.
Great.
Flynn also has his short sword out in one hand,
Okay.
and then where he has his shield normally, he has his torch for the moment.
Thanks for that advantage.
There we go.
That's an 18.
Nice.
18. These look like pretty like, I don't know. With the desaturated colors around you, it is a little bit hard to tell. But for the most part, they seem to be just normal, large spider webs.
Got it. Just part of the darkness of the forest, not necessarily the shadowy part of the energy
Yeah.
of the forest. Cool.
So are you guys continuing on forward? Yeah?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm gonna
Yep.
keep an eye. I'm gonna mention, guys, keep an eye out on the ground for any webs. They might catch you. And it's something that I dealt with earlier with Shreya, and it seems like they kind of like try and trap us. So just keep an eye out where you're stepping.
Thanks.
Okay. And with that, I'm going to have everyone make a stealth check to see if you guys can maneuver this. And everyone's going to be doing that at advantage because Flynn sort of told you guys what to look out for.
Natural 20.
Nice.
Dang.
Nice.
For a 25 total.
Okay.
Sorry, you said it was a stealth, right? Okay.
Stealth, yeah.
So DM, typically I actually have disadvantage on stealth. So you're saying I now have advantage, so I'll just roll once maybe?
So just a straight roll, yes.
Okay.
Cancels out, yeah.
That's a 14
15.
for me.
13.
21 for Flynn.
Okay. You guys are walking through the forest and you begin to notice these spider webs on the ground, and all of you guys are able to sort of tiptoe and maneuver around them. You see that there's now more and more spider webs as they begin to get more and more dense. And it's not just once in every 10 trees that has spider webs on them. Now it's once in every 5 trees, every other tree. Now it's every tree has these spider webs on them.
Do we feel, I would like to check to see if we feel like we're getting any closer to it, like some type of darkness, whether we think we're heading in the right direction still.
Yeah, because we're following these tracks, but we don't really know
do we still
where they
see
lead.
tracks? We don't really,
Make a survival check.
Can I help her with that? Since I've been kind of helming the survival, can I like give her advantage?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Unless if you're helming it, if you want to just roll at advantage.
You said you were looking. Yeah, just take advantage. Just go for it. It's cool.
I rolled a 19 and a 20.
Heck
for,
yeah.
Nice.
So, that's another natural 20 for 22. Oh, wait, survival?
22.
Or nature. Which one am I doing?
Survival.
Survival. Also 22.
Nice. Okay. You sort of like in the back of your head, you're starting to get turned around. You don't really know which direction is which. You don't know if you're heading north anymore. But then you look down at the footprints and you remember back and you know that the footprints haven't deviated in their course. And you sort of snap back into your mind and you remember, okay, we're still heading north. And you guys continue along following these footprints. And then all of a sudden the footprints stop. And you guys look up and you see within the trees 3 giant spiders hanging there within their webs. Dormant, it seems, for the moment. You guys have not stepped on any of their webs and they have not noticed you.
Do they look shadowy? Is there any kind of like I'll tug on you know what, I'm gonna just tug on on Kellic. He seems to be able to see like undead and kind of creatures that we're looking for, so I'm gonna tug on Kellic's robe. Kellic.
Yes. I see the spiders, Alma.
I know you see the spiders. are they also affected by the undead energy, or you seem to be able to see more than just what we can see?
I don't see anything, but I know someone who does. And I cast Eyes of the Grave. To take a
What?
look.
Almost just really confused.
Russ is really confused.
Completely. I look in pockets to see. I'm like, is there somebody in your pocket?
But as your eyes begin to glow, you look up, and it's the same story as before. The spiders themselves are not undead, but they're reeking in this undead sort of energy that's just flowing off of them, as if like they've been in contact with something undead.
If I
do we
look
have that aura?
around, yeah. What else can I see if I take a quick glance?
The trees are the same, just as you had discovered before, and the members of your party are not. It's very subtle. Like the members of your party are just beginning to sort of be polluted with that stench of undead.
Yeah. That's not good.
It's so bad. DM, do we by chance see dead bodies in any of these webs, or particularly in this web? Do we see the bodies of the people that were there?
Make a perception check for me.
And then kind of while we're looking around, Flynn will just briefly say, guys, we have to make a decision pretty soon. These things probably aren't going to sleep forever. Should we just attack them and kill them while they're sleeping, or should we try and sneak away?
Well, they're not the source of the shadows. They're just another feature of it.
I'd rather not have them ambush us when we walk away, but I don't know.
Is it worth the risk?
It's up to you guys.
That was 21.
21. You look up and you can see within the webs of these giant spiders, you can see two sort of cocoon-like bundles of webs, about humanoid size.
Hey guys, does anyone know if you can survive being wrapped up like that before being eaten?
I don't know. Should we
Would
try
anyone
and
know that? Would anyone know that?
Would I have encountered spiders? Could I, like in my home, my native land, could I figure that out?
I guess you're from here.
Yeah, you can make a nature check.
Alrighty. 5.
You don't know. You don't know anyone who's been wrapped up like that and survived. So you really have no experience with this.
Would Flynn?
You don't really have a sense either.
Except for just the one time that we encountered him. That's the only real information I have. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Guys, I mean, I don't know if they're alive or dead, but it might be worth it. I'd rather try and save them.
We can save those men.
What was that?
If we can save the remainder of...
Yeah. I mean, we're here to save the town, and that includes the people in it.
I mean, didn't Farland say that we would bring them back?
Yeah.
Yes, he did. He threw us all under a bus and said that we were going to bring everyone back and everything would be fine. And I did not appreciate, I'm very much so, slightly voice rising, getting a little bit hyper and almost hysterical to extent. Said all these things and I don't know what he's talking about. Do you see these things? And
March, if there's even the slightest chance that those men are alive in those cocoons, then we owe it to them to try.
Look, Kay, I know you're right, and we're going to do it. I understand that. I'm just saying I don't like it.
Is there
I'm not
any
down with
way?
spiders.
Can you cut them down? Is there a way to get them without alerting the spiders?
My talons are quite sharp. Perhaps I can try to dig them out of those cocoons. Perhaps I can stealthily find my way up there. I'm not sure.
From what we see, DM, the human bodies or the bodies that are wrapped up cocoon-like, do they intersect multiple of the spider's webs, or just one that would feel it? Like my assumption is that the spiders would feel any vibrations that's happening on their web.
All of the web seems interconnected.
Is it one big tree with just sort of a web kind of interconnected? through the tree, or what's the scale of what we're looking at?
Looking around, it's probably 100 trees within your vicinity have some sort of interconnected web on them.
Man.
Oh my god, and we only see 3 spiders.
Right.
How far away are these spiders? Because they're in the air, but roughly how far away would they be from us on the ground?
They're just about 25 feet up in the trees.
Okay.
Flynn's gonna take his short sword and put it back in its sheath. And I put his torch down carefully and just pull out his short bow off his shoulder, knock an arrow. Just kind of get ready for anything.
I guess we can prepare ourselves.
Yeah.
However, I don't think it's a good idea for Shreya to go up there when there's 3 spiders on his own. I do not want to be in a predicament where Shreya's some odd number of feet in the air, and there's 3 of these suckers, and we're down here.
Yeah. They can very easily just web him up there. It happened to me.
If he cuts the thread of it, then there's a decent chance that it'll...
Wait,
it's pulling a...
We could try to
string.
use our torches to burn the web.
Yeah, I still have one here. Try if you want to use it. You can just fly up and we can maybe distract them while you get the people free.
So you're advocating for waking them up, is what you're saying?
I don't know if there's a way to not do it and not wake them up.
Well,
it seems
you could try. You could try to be really, really quiet and cut around them without waking them up, and then we could just all prepare ourselves.
Just get within range to take action if they wake.
Well, I think what March was saying is if they do wake up and they web you up there, we can't get you. We can't fly.
We can't get up there. Also, can we go back?
How high up are the
25
25 feet?
Yeah.
We can shoot arrows and spells in that range. We just can't fly. So
right.
And we can climb as well. So we can get decently. It's not like they won't be able to just instantly.
What if they just start eating them?
Quickly, can we go back to when Flynn said that? Did you say you were wrapped up by a spider?
Yeah.
Did I catch that?
Yeah, Shreya and I on our way to Cold Crest, we kind of ran into a few of these. Again, I'm whispering all this. and one of them, when I was fighting it, it just shot a bunch of webs on me, and it's kind of like I got stuck. And luckily for Shreya, he was able to pull me out of it, and we flew up in the air and got away. But I couldn't move.
The only way to get them down is to have somebody go up there and get them down, and I don't think we can kill all 3 spiders in the time. I
agree.
Shreya and I took out 2, I think, by ourselves.
But also, don't you think Shreya can try not to wake them up?
Well, I'm worried that he's going to get stuck up there, and then they'll eat him while we're stuck down here.
Right, but if we're more of a threat, if we can just make ourselves more of a threat, wouldn't they want to get us
to
first?
go up there and then wake them up and distract them? So
No. Try not to wake them up.
Shreya, how do you feel it? This is the most puts you out more than any of us.
Shreya, you can take me with you.
I would be more comfortable if I knew that while I was up there, it would be easier for everyone on the ground to attack them. I have an ability to paint, if you will, light targets on the backs of certain creatures. I've just never tried to cast it on sleeping creatures before. I don't know if it would wake them up.
So your vote is to just take an aggressive approach and just try and destroy the spiders before we free the cocoons.
Here's what I'll do, and I hold my staff close to me, and as I do, I murmur a few incantations under my breath into the crystal, and the crystal starts to have a whirling crystalline like tiny little electrical bolts starting to swirl in a sort of mini tornado around it. I will keep this prepared, and should they wake, I will immediately thrust these targets of light straight onto them so that it will be easier to hit them from the ground.
Is there one spider closest to the bodies?
Yeah, so the bodies are pretty close to each other.
Okay.
And there's one spider directly next to it. And then about 15 feet over, the other two spiders are
Okay.
located.
So I'm gonna stand over by. I'm gonna stand really close to one of the webs, ready to like thrust the flame, the torch that I have in my hand, up to the web, and keep an eye also on that spider that's closest.
Okay.
Shreya, I'll be here, and if anything happens, I'll try to protect you.
I do appreciate the show of support, young one. I will now...
I look up toward the 2 bound cocoons.
set to work.
And before I take off, I unloop the rope from being fastened to myself and sort of in one motion take my wings and billow them so that I rush upward toward the cocoons.
Okay. Shreya, I'm going to have you make a sleight of hand check to see if you can, with your talons, cut down these people.
Is it one for just one cocoon, or are you like for?
It's going to be one. It's going to be one per cocoon.
Okay.
Oh boy.
DM, I have a question.
Yes.
Before our session zeros, we talked about potentially having advantage. Having one, or having not advantage, but one inspiration.
Yes.
6 die, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, just reminding us all.
We have a D6 as
we have a D6.
Yeah.
Okay.
Everyone
We
earned
started
an inspiration die.
Got it.
Okay. Well, let's see. First one. I might need to use that inspiration die. What's the source of this inspiration?
from the dwarven tomb.
Ah,
Yes.
okay. So, yeah, that's not great. I'm gonna be adding 1 to a 6. That's a 7.
Oh man.
You're up there, you're cutting down the cocoon, you're feeling great. You're like, oh, nothing's gonna stop me here. Meanwhile, on the ground, you guys see these reverberations on the webs all around you guys, and the spiders begin to move their legs and come to life. And the one nearest Shreya, near the bodies, is going to lunge out and attack. But before we do that, I'm going to have everyone roll initiative.
Can I get an arrow off before that happens?
You can get that arrow off in initiative.
Okay, fair enough.
So, Ethan, I had prepared to start lighting the web on fire.
I got it.
Yeah.
Ditch the
So
stuff.
what's going to happen is they're going to have the surprised condition on the first round of combat.
Yeah, good roll.
Okay.
Good roll.
So I'm going to roll initiative for these guys. And okay, can I get Flynn's initiative?
19 total.
Okay, Kellic,
9.
9. Can I get Marches?
2.
2?
But she said no.
No, you may not.
Basically.
Shreya.
4.
4. Okay, and Olma.
16.
16.
Kaylik, what was yours?
9.
Oh,
Also no.
also no.
Also no.
We're crushing it.
Okay, so they have the surprise condition as they're just waking up. First in combat is Flynn. What would you like to do?
So paint the picture a little bit for me. Is Shreya still floating in the air, or is he clinged onto the web as he's cutting?
He is flying. He's sort of hovering in the air,
So he's not
trying to cut
okay.
them off from the air.
And so there's essentially like a spider close to him, and the other ones are kind of farther away. Either way, what I'd like to do is basically light the web on fire. So I was hoping I could maybe since my torch is laying right next to me, could I like take the arrow and just light it, or is that not really how that works?
Yeah, you would need to have something flammable on the edge of the arrow.
It's 25 feet
in order
away.
To light it. Yes, 25 feet up.
It might be stupid, but I'm gonna realize that it's waking up, realize that Shraya's in danger, and my worst fears are coming to life, that he's gonna get webbed up there and eaten alive while we watch from below. So I'm gonna drop my arrows and drop my bow, grab my torch, and just throw it, trying to put it in between like the spider and Shraya, so it burns the web there, and the spider drops.
Okay, make an attack roll to see how accurate you are with this thing.
What would you like me to add to torch throw?
You're not going to add anything to
Great.
it. It's just going to be a straight roll.
All right, guys, here we go. Ooh.
Lighting spiders on fire.
I'm going to add my inspiration. Okay, 13.
13. Okay, so you throw the torch up and it lands directly in between the spider and the people. It begins burning the web around it, sort of in a radial pattern. In a couple seconds, it might burn away enough of the web.
After that, I'll pick my bow and arrow back up, and then I'm just gonna. I'll take a few steps back, and then just yell over to Alma and just kind of say, "Light it up!" And that's my turn.
Okay, and with that, Alma, it is your turn.
Yeah.
Yeah, babe. Let's go.
So I'm imagining I was kind of, I got up close to the web to try and be kind of in between a couple, like one of the bigger intersections of where the webbing is kind of combined. So not necessarily right by one of the spiders or the other, but kind of in the center to let it spread.
Yeah.
And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my flame and run my hand over it and just like slowly kind of put fan my hand out over the flame, and it extends from just the fire that it is to 5 feet in an upward direction. So in addition to like where my torch touches, it's also gonna extend 5 feet up along the web.
Okay, so you're sorry, this is going off of the torch that you have, correct? Not
Yes.
the torch that Flynn threw.
Yes.
Okay. You light part of the webbing on fire, and it extends 5 feet up, burning away quite a bit of the web as you do that.
Is it going to continue to stay flammable?
It seems to be lighting as the fire is touching it, so it seems pretty flammable, but it's going to take some time for it to actually extend anywhere.
Is the torch that Flynn threw stuck in the web now, kind of like staying there and burning it?
Yes, for the moment it is.
Yeah, cool. Okay, cool.
Okay, next up is Kellic.
How far apart are each of the spiders?
So one of the spiders that's next to the two bodies is about 5 feet away from the bodies and 5 feet away from Shraya. The other two are right next to each other and 15 feet away.
15 feet away from the other spider.
From the other spider.
Now, I guess my question, can I get within 30 feet of each spider? Is there an equidistant point that I could approach if I run up to the tree and maybe begin to climb?
I'm going to say sure. Yeah, you would be able to get all three within 30 feet.
So I will, I'll since we're going now, I will sprint up to the tree and sort of hoist myself onto like one of the lower branches, and I will look up and I will squeeze my bandaged hand as hard as I can so that some of my own blood pools in the center of it, and I will whisper, "Vowkeeper, blight our foes so that we might survive this encounter," and say, "Debilito," and cast Bane on the three spiders.
Bane is so cool.
Okay.
And so they do a save and throw, charisma.
Charisma saving throw. Okay. The spider that's near Shraya got a 6.
Okay.
And the other
Good.
2 got a 17 and a 12.
All right, so the one with the 17 succeeds, the other 2 fail.
Nice.
Okay. That was Bane, correct?
That's correct. So it's a D4 to any attack rolls or save and throws made for as long as I hold concentration.
Okay. Gotcha.
For 1 minute. But
And D4 subtraction, not
That's right.
addition.
Yes.
yes. No, I've buffed the enemy. I've added poison to their powers.
Okay. Next up, Shreya. You are up amongst the spiders, and you see them beginning to wake up.
I grab my staff in one hand. I crane my neck over, realizing that they're beginning to wake up. And fairy fire, which I had prepped, I'm going to lower the staff toward, and in a pulse, this beam of light and purple-pink fire is just going to emanate from the tip of the crystal and attempt to sheathe the closest spider.
Okay. What is that going to be from me?
That is going to be a dexterity saving throw.
Dexterity saving throw. That was a natural 20.
Is it all of them?
Did you say, was that the one that's passed or failed? Because is he blighted for that saving throw? Or baned, rather?
He is Bane. That is one of the Bane ones. I forgot about that immediately. So
Nice.
that's going to
my
be an
job.
18. That's going to be an 18.
Which has what is it beating up from me?
So what's your wisdom modifier?
It's a +4.
So it's probably 14.
Okay, yeah, that probably, even at that.
Still passes.
Doesn't Fairy Fire get like an area? Doesn't it? Can you get the other ones too? Or is it like a special version?
I
of
mean,
Fairy
it's
Fire?
it's each object in a 20-foot cube within or creature within the first one. So yeah, I guess theoretically the other 2 spiders would have to make dex saving throws too.
You would also be able to get the other 2 spiders. Yeah.
Nice. Get him.
Okay.
Get him.
One of them's Bane.
So the one that is not baned got an 11.
Okay, so that's fair for that
Nice.
one.
Nice. There we go.
So now he's got Fairy Fire. And the other one that is baned got a 6.
Oh, great.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
So
That's
just so
huge.
we're clear, we've got one spider that's close to Shreya that has Bane. One of them just has Fairy Fire, and one of them both has Bane and Fairy Fire.
Heck yeah.
So just so we're all clear on that.
Support caster high five.
Cool. Is that the end of your turn,
Yes,
Shreya?
and that means basically any attack roll against that fairy fired creature has advantage, as long as the person can see it.
Okay.
Okay, so we get
Nice.
advantage when we attack.
Yes.
Okay. If that's the end of your turn, next up is March. March, what would you like to do?
An attack is exactly what I would like to do. A little bit stressed and kind of having this I knew this would happen moment. I am going to switch out my Warhammer for a javelin. And I would like to attempt to throw it at the one closest to Shreya.
Okay. Make that attack roll.
$22.
22 definitely hits. Yeah, roll your damage.
$10.
Ooh. Nice. Okay. Is that the end of your turn?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Next up is Flynn.
Yeah. That's pretty awesome. So he sees the 2 that are kind of like lit up, but he also still sees the one that's like still alive with a javelin in it now that's about to probably bite down on Shreya. How's the fire looking in these webs? Does it look like that one might fall pretty soon, or should I, like, I don't know, should he attack it because it looks like it's going to get him before the fire burns the web?
The fire is burning quite a bit of the web, so probably within the next couple seconds here, he's not going to have enough web to cling on to. Unless he moves.
I'm going to pick up my... I already picked the short bow up, so I'll knock an arrow, and I'm just going to hold my action to fire the arrow. If the spider either falls, then I'm going to shoot a different one, or if the spider tries to attack Shreya, I'm going to shoot that.
Okay.
And
Gotcha.
then that's my turn.
Okay. Next up is Olma.
Yes, it is. I would like to. Do any of the other spiders appear like they're leaning our way? Like the two ones that are lit up, do they look like they're kind of starting to lean towards us? I guess we don't know yet.
Make an insight check.
I don't know.
You don't know.
I don't know. I mean, I have a really good insight, so I guess that's an 8, but I don't know.
You don't know. No.
Then in that case, I'm going to look at the one that has a javelin in it, and nope, I'm not going to do that. I just want to continue to burn the web away, like as much as I can. So I see my 5 additional feet of burning flame. Has that spread at all?
Yeah, it's spread about another foot or so since your last turn.
Okay, I'm going to stare deeply into the fire and put the one hand obviously still on my torch and the other hand still reaching out. I'm just going to feel the warmth of it. Breathe in and breathe out. And like kind of wincing, say, spread? Continue to spread, come on. And I'm going to cast Firebolt on it.
Okay.
Nice.
So it's, I mean, you don't have to roll to hit. There's webs everywhere. You're going to hit something. So you can just roll your damage.
Aw, guys. That's just a 1.
Ugh.
1. It helps a little. I mean, there's more fire now than there was before. But the initial fire that you had cast is really the driving force and is beginning to spread.
Okay.
Is that the end of your turn?
Yep.
Okay. Next up, we've got one of the 2 spiders that was sort of off by themselves. Now fully awake is going to detach from the web and with a thud drop on the ground right next to you guys. It is going to lunge forward and
is this the
it's
one?
going to-
Is this the one that's baned or not baned?
this is the one that's not banged.
Okay.
This one does have fairy fire on it though.
Right.
What is fairy fire, just so I better understand?
So you guys can see as it drops to the ground, there's this slight golden outline along the edge of the spider.
Cool.
It really helps you like differentiate, and you can sort of see the contrast between the spider and the background. So you can just see where the spider is a little bit better.
Cool.
So this spider is going to... It's going to roll. Let's see. It's going to attempt to web up March. So that is going to be a 12 to hit.
No, thank God.
No?
Nice.
Okay. The web shoots out and shoots right past you over your shoulder. That is going to be, that's all of his turn. So next up, Kellic.
All right. Well, I was gonna climb, but I guess there's one right here. So I'm gonna turn around and I'm gonna take a melee attack at it with my sickle from behind.
Okay. Make that attack roll.
That does not hit. That is a 5.
That does not hit. No.
I like to think maybe I just graze the carapace with the sickle.
Wait, even at advantage?
Yeah.
Roll twice.
Oh, right.
He
No,
does
this
have fairy
one's
fire.
fire.
Oh, nice.
Oh.
That's a 15 to hit.
That hits.
Hey. Here we go.
There you go, fairy fire.
Get him.
Oh. That is 3 damage.
Tree damage. All right.
I just
Okay.
stab it in the back
Cool.
of the abdomen with the pointy bit. On the top of the
Nice.
sickle.
So your sickle dives deep into the back of this giant spider. Is that the end of your turn?
That will do. Well, hang on. Hang on a minute. Yes.
Okay. Next up is Shreya. You are still up in the trees.
I'd like to do a quick cantrip and sort of touch the crystal of my staff to my forehead and sort of race down, cast Shillelagh on the staff and sort of race down from above and try to just drive the tip of my staff into the spider that's just landed on the ground.
Okay, make an attack roll.
Alrighty. Alright, that's the first one's a 12. Second one is less than a 12.
So, you drive down, and neither of those make contact. You're swinging, and the spider's legs just allow it to dodge out of the way of those two attacks.
All right, that's my turn. So I'm effectively landing
All right.
next to it too.
Nice. Okay. Next up, the spider that was nearest the bodies is going to also detach and with a thud land on the ground right next to you guys. It is going to also attempt to web someone up, and that person is going to be Kellic. So,
Did Flynn have a held?
Yeah, which one's dropping again?
so the one that you had a held action against is deciding to drop.
The one that was like the closest to the bodies and try.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I'll once it hits the ground, I'll just loose my arrow at it.
Okay, make an attack roll.
Sure. And this one doesn't have fairy fire, right? Just a straight roll.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. 17.
17 hits.
Yeah. Oh, max damage, baby. 10 points of piercing damage.
Ooh. Nice.
This one's
Okay.
gotta be hurting.
Yeah, this one, you landed that arrow directly in between its eyes.
Yeah.
This one is not looking good. But it is going to attempt to still web up Kellic. So with the Bane, that is going to be an 11 to hit.
11 does not hit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Again, the web just shoots right past you. Okay, the third spider is going to attempt to web someone up. That is going to be towards Flynn.
Sure.
And that is with the Bane. That is going to be... Jeez, these Banes are killing me.
Yeah.
That's going to be a 13.
Does not hit.
Okay.
And I don't have my shield, so my armor class is a little bit lower, so
There,
it could have without the Bane.
Whenever the Bane is effective, it's like there's like dust particles like peeling away at their eyes while they try to spit their web.
Awesome.
Nice. Okay. Then we have March.
Yes.
Should, yep.
Okay.
So I am going to, seeing that this thing just tried to shoot a web at me, and I am immediately going to come back to my warhammer, and I assume this sucker's right in front of me, correct?
Yes.
Then I am going to attempt to smack it.
Okay. Make an attack roll.
$19.
19 hits. Yeah, for sure.
That gives 10 points of bludgeoning.
Okay, and this is towards the spider that was already injured, correct?
Yes.
Is it the one that you threw the
Okay.
javelin into?
Yes,
No.
I believe that was.
Is it
No?
him?
Yes, it is.
Okay, then yes. Then I would like to.
Get him.
Yeah.
Okay. You raise your warhammer up and slam it down into this thing's head, and just like a watermelon, this thing just completely, the head disperses everywhere
Let's go.
as it is now dead.
Nice.
Get out of here, you stupid giant spider.
I'm just gonna do that. Just be like, I hate spiders. Ugh.
Flynn yells out, "Me too!"
Okay. Then next up is Flynn.
Cool. He yells out, "Me too!" And then, so one's down, one's up next to Kellic, and one's still
Up in the trees.
up in the tree. How Flynn wants to look at the fire spreading and realize that there's still people up there potentially. Is it gonna catch them on fire?
Probably in the next round or so. Yes.
Flynn will turn to Shreya and yell out, Shreya, we have a problem, and he'll point up to the fire, and then he'll kind of like hold out his hands, pull his short sword out, and kind of just say like, "Can you get me up there still?" Holding his short sword out, looking up at the people that may be burned soon. And he'll hold his action to, if he gets up there, he'll hold his action to like cut the webs to free the people.
Okay. So you're just waiting on Shreya to come
Hopefully,
pick you
yeah,
up,
because
right?
we got to save them people. So that's my turn.
Okay. Next up is Oma.
Yeah. I'm gonna look at the spider in the tree because it's still trying to throw webs at people. And I'm going to do once more. Deep breath in, deep breath out, and throw a firebolt at him.
You don't.
Okay. Make an attack roll.
At advantage. Oof. 16?
16 hits. Yeah.
Cool. Cool.
Roll that damage.
Light him up.
Max damage, 10 points of fire damage.
Ooh.
Nice.
Okay. And that was the one still up in the tree, correct?
Yes, it was.
Okay.
So the
Awesome.
web might also be on fire.
Yeah, it looks like a couple of embers have started up there, but you're going to have to see over the next couple of rounds if anything catches. Okay. Next up, we've got the spider that has dropped down onto the ground. So it is going to, instead of a web attack, it's going to try and take a bite attack at Kellic. So that is going to be a natural 1. Does that hit?
let me check my armor class really quick.
I'm sorry. Actually, that's going to be a -2 with the Bane. Oh no, this guy isn't baned.
All right,
I take that
He
back.
hurts himself.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's his
I just
entire
pull
turn.
one hip back as it bites at me.
Just
shy of it.
With a crit fail, it like bites into the ground and its teeth get stuck in them.
Okay, and then with that, next up in the initiative, a new spider, having sensed the disturbances within the webs, comes out from the trees and is going to run out and shoot a web at March. So, March does a 24 hit.
Absolutely not. No, what are you talking about?
No?
Never.
Okay, so
Yep,
from
that's the thing.
just beyond the trees, the spider crawls out and shoots its web at you, and it envelops you in this web. You are restrained, so you are now restrained within this web, unable to move. So, after that, next up is Kellic.
All right, so the one that just bit at me, I'm going to spit in its face and
Roll damage.
and I will say, take this one first, Valkeeper, and I will cast Toll the Dead on it.
Yeah, Doodle Doo.
Ex Coquo.
Okay.
And it has to make a wisdom saving throw.
A wisdom saving throw. Okay. That is going to be... And this is the one that's right in front of you, correct?
Correct.
Okay. 18.
Oh, succeeds. I don't think it takes any if it succeeds. Yeah, it does not take any damage.
Okay. Next up is Shreya. What would you like to do?
Hearing Flynn over in the corner with his arms outstretched, I briefly glare at the spider that I just missed with my staff, and I'm coming! And I whip my wings around, and I'm going to attempt to whirl around the back of Flynn and just, in one whoosh of my wings, just sort of carry him up toward the cocoons as fast as I can.
Yeah.
Okay, nice. So since you guys have experience with this before, you are able to carry Flynn for up to a minute without having to roll for any sort of athletics checks. So, Flynn, you with Shreya now flying you up, you are able to make that attack roll.
Heck yeah. I'll just I'll look over what's going on, what's been burned, what's not been burned, and I'll just try and make the best cut to try and see if I can do it. Does it look like I can do it in one swing?
So what exactly are you trying to cut?
I want to cut the people free. Oh, man. So they fall and not get burned, but if they fall, they might take damage. I'll start cutting, so then maybe Shreya can finish and grab them so they don't fall 25 feet. So I'll just try and start cutting them out of the web. If I can get all of them. You said there's a few, but they're close together. If I can maybe cut a few of them, and then maybe Shreya can grab them by the claws. He can grab part of the web, so then he can just help lower it so it doesn't smack to the ground. It kind of falls slowly to the ground. Does that
sure.
make sense?
Yeah. So roll your damage.
Sure. Oh, just roll damage. You don't want me to roll to attack?
No, just
Okay.
roll your damage.
Okay. Much better with a short sword. That is 10 points of piercing total.
Okay, nice. So you start carving away. Shreya, you've only just brought Flynn up here, but already these bodies are beginning to descend. Not too fast, but the web is still just sort of holding them up, but they're descending very slowly.
Cool.
And that is Flynn's held action. And then
just as a bonus, I'll just kind of yell to the group, "Guys, we're doing great. Keep it up. I almost got these guys out of here." That's
cool. And then Shreya, that's your action to grab Flynn, as it's sort of a grapple action, and then it was your movement to bring him up there. So do you have any bonus actions that you'd like to do?
Yep.
Nothing?
Good job, Shreya. Teamwork.
Okay. Next up is the spider that is up in the tree. So it is going to do the old classic. It's going to try and web someone up. This one is going towards Olma. So Olma, that is going to be that's a nat 20 -1. So that's a 19.
Yeah, that hits.
Yes. Okay, and you are now enveloped in this web as well, and you are restrained.
Can you describe the restrained effects, please?
Yes, I can. I've got it right here.
And March is restrained too, right?
March is also restrained. So your speed is 0, and attack rolls against you have advantage, and your attack rolls have disadvantage. So you also have disadvantage on dexterity saving throws, but you can make a... let me see what the DC is on this. You can make a DC 12 strength check to break out of the webbing.
Can you burn them?
Can I move my hands? Is kind of what I want to know.
Yes, you can. You can sort of move your hands in order to cast, but any attack rolls are at disadvantage.
Got it.
Okay. That's going to be that spider's turn. Next up is March.
Yeah, I hate all of this. So I would like to figure out a way, if I can, to bust myself out of this.
Okay, that is going to be a strength check.
Okay. So for strength, where am I? Okay, how do I do that?
You're
'Cause I
just
don't-
adding your strength modifier.
Oh, okay. Oh, that was a very dumb moment of me. Sorry. That is 16.
16 does it. So, yeah, you're able to break yourself out of these webs.
Get out of them webs.
Just not a fan of any of this. And then I
Okay.
just want to have my Warhammer just ready to go. But that's it.
Okay. Yeah, that's your action. Okay, back to the top of the order. Flynn.
Ooh. Man, I don't want to have to hold my action again, but I'm worried that if I finish cutting the rest of this webbing, that they will. Because you said like as I'm cutting, it's starting to droop down. I'm assuming, and like slowly start falling.
They're beginning to droop down. Yeah.
Right. But if I were to finish the cut, they would then fall 25 feet.
It would be a free fall. Yeah.
So I would does it look like I can maybe potentially finish it depending on the damage with my last slice? Like, is it almost at that point where it's about to fall?
It's pretty close. Yeah.
I'm gonna hold my action, and I'm just gonna yell to Shreya, if you can grab onto it, I can finish cutting the web, and then we can safely get these people down to the ground. What do you say, Shreya?
I'll do my best. I'm starting to
this,
feel
man.
the strain of having to hold my friend up here.
Yeah. Yeah, all we got to do is bring him down slowly. We don't got to take him up. Let's do this. And I'm just going to get my blade in there and like just kind of get ready to cut the last bit of it whenever it's Shreya's
Gotcha.
turn, so we can grab onto it.
Okay. Next up is Olma.
Yeah, what happened to my torch when I got restrained? I was holding on to it.
Yeah, you can still be holding on to it. Yeah.
Okay, just for visuals here, where am I restrained?
You're strained near the party. You're about 10 feet away from one of the spiders that's on the ground, and you're almost directly underneath the one that's up in the tree.
Okay, and I'm guessing like are my knees restrained or like my legs restrained? Because if I have the torch still and I have free movement of my arms.
Yes. Your legs are restrained. You cannot move anywhere.
Okay, I'm gonna take a dagger out and cut my legs free.
Okay. Make an attack roll. And that's going to be at disadvantage.
Mm-hmm. That's a 9.
No.
A 9 is not going to do it. Your dagger, you try and plunge it in there, but it just keeps slipping and it gets stuck in some parts. And you're just not able to quite get a good cut on it.
Okay.
Okay, is that the end of your turn?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Next up, the spider that is on the ground. It's going to make a bite attack at Kellic. So that is going to be a 19 to hit.
That hits.
Okay. That's going to be 6 points of piercing damage as it lunges forward and sinks its teeth into you.
All right.
Okay. And then the other spider that came out from the trees is now going to attack. It is going to attempt to web up. It's going to attempt to web up March. And that's going to be 4. So that's definitely going to miss.
Yeah, definitely.
Nice.
Okay.
Not that again. Ooh.
You're like, yeah. You're like, no. I already played this game. Already been webbed up.
All right, Kellic, it's your turn.
Right. For the sake of argument, is there a way I can get to Alma without provoking an attack of opportunity, or is she betwixt? Could I get between her and the spider if I just worked my way around it?
Yeah, if you wanted to sort of rotate as you were walking, you would be able to do that without leaving the spider's attack range.
I'm going to cast Toll the Dead on it.
Okay.
I want to kill this bastard.
Heck yeah.
Okay, make an attack roll.
It's a saving throw of it.
Oh, okay.
I believe wisdom, but let me make sure I know.
Wisdom.
Yes, wisdom.
That is a 9.
Right, it fails. So that's a D12.
Okay.
Tons of damage.
Oh, nice. That is 6 points of necrotic damage.
Nice.
So as it's taking a bite out of me, I'm just like smacking it in the face, and from that smack comes this like the dust particles that burn away at the places. This is the one I stabbed, right? So from my hand, through its body, like from that wound, it begins to expand and steam and blister.
Nice. Okay. Next up, Olma, you look up into the webs and you see that your fire is beginning to spread more and more, and it has spread onto sort of one of these vital structural parts of the web. And the spider's weight at this point is just too much on it, and it's going to drop to the ground.
Does it take any damage?
And it is going to take... See, that's 25.
This is the Fairy Fire Baned one, or this is the new one?
No, this is the Fairy Fire and Baned one. Yes.
Nice.
Because he's already got damage, so that's why I was curious.
Yeah, okay. So...
Oh, I didn't roll to maintain concentration, by the way, when I got attacked, so I should do that.
Oh, yeah, why don't you do that? Oh, okay. The spider apparently was not expecting to fall at all because it took max damage there.
Yes.
Very good.
And it took 12 points of bludgeoning damage as it hits the ground.
Ooh.
Huge.
Concentration is DC 10 unless the damage is more than 10, right?
That is correct.
Okay,
Yeah.
then I succeeded. So we're good. Still baned.
Good.
Okay, next up is Shreya. Now all of the spiders are on the ground. You've got one that's just fallen, and you are holding Flynn at the moment.
I'd like to, as the bodies are sort of descending, are they descending?
They're descending at about 2 feet every
Okay.
round.
Yeah, whenever he, I guess, grabs onto the webs, I'll cut the last of it.
Yeah, as long as I wouldn't start moving until the point where I know that the bodies are completely free of the web above. So if nothing
Okay.
else,
I will say, if you're holding on to Flynn, you're not going to be able to hold on to these
I
descending
wouldn't be able
bodies
to
as
with
well.
my lower talons, with my feet.
Could you drop me onto the webs of the people and I'll just hold onto it and I can just cut it from there? Would that be something we could do? Because I'm only like 30 pounds.
You could definitely try that.
Yeah, I'm down. Drop me onto the webs. I'll grab onto it and then I'll use my held action to cut it whenever you grab the webbing. And we'll just all ride down together.
Okay.
Ideally.
Would you have told me this, or like while we're...
I don't know if I would have told you, but I feel like maybe you would have known that, like, because you're holding me with your claws, you know that you probably have to let go of me to like grab the thing.
Okay.
I don't know. It's like iffy. Or could we explain that right now, or would that be kind of too?
I'm going to say, Flynn, you would not be able to jump out of Shreya's grasp.
Mm-hmm. Could he let go of me, and then I'd have to make like a check
but
or something?
Shreya, yeah, I mean, Shreya, if you wanted to let go of him, he would be able to fall directly onto the bodies.
I'm going to let go of him, and then I'm going to descend a little bit and prepare to mitigate any kind of rapid fall that I might see start to happen if, like, say, a piece of the web breaks too fast, or if one of the bodies starts, like, leans over and goes over the side of where they're attached. I'm just going to prepare to make any kind of catches that I would need to.
Okay, Flynn, make your roll your damage.
Okay.
Yeah.
8 piercing.
8 piercing. Okay, that is enough to slice through the last bit of webbing. Shreya, I'm going to have you make an athletics check to see how slowly you can get these things to descend.
All right. Oof. It's looking to -1. Oof. That's a 5.
That's a 5. Okay.
You don't have the inspiration anymore, right?
Strength.
You are going to mitigate half of the damage
Hey, that's good.
that they would have hit on the ground. So, Flynn, you're also going to take this damage because you're descending with the bodies. So you only take 2 points of bludgeoning damage as you hit the ground.
Okay, cool. Ooh, good job, man.
That'll be my turn.
Good job.
And you guys are now on the ground.
Yeah.
Okay. Next up, the spider that dropped to the ground due to Oma's fire is going to it's going to turn tail and run. It is very damaged, so it's going to try and get away. It's going to use its full action and its movement to just turn around and run the opposite direction.
You guys get an attack?
Did it fall close enough to us for us to be able to?
Oh, is this a different one?
It fell within 5 feet of Olma. So Olma, if you had anything that you wanted to swipe at it with, you would definitely be able to do that.
I have a dagger
Yeah.
that I took out.
Yeah.
Is it stuck in the webbing? I don't really know. Or do I...
You can make an attack roll. It would just be at disadvantage.
Sure, yeah, I'll throw a dagger at it.
Okay.
Or swipe at it with the dagger.
Yeah. Go for it.
13?
13 does not hit.
Okay.
13 just misses.
Damn.
Yeah, that's 13. Okay. A for
Actually,
effort.
I'm sorry. That is just going to be a straight roll because this one is fairy fire. So your disadvantage is negated. So do you remember what
I think it was a 16.
what the
plus-
first roll
yeah,
was?
Yeah, the one was a 16 and one was an 8. So I think it was
Okay.
a 16 plus 5.
Gotcha. Yeah, then in that case, that hits.
Get him. Kill him.
Okay. Second, I have to check. I'm not sure what my dagger's damage is. Okay. 4 points of piercing.
That was exactly what you needed. As it turns to run, you swipe at it with your dagger, and it tenses up and then just goes limp as your final swipe at it
What a badass.
kills it.
Was
Whoops.
How many spiders are there now on the ground level, or like what?
Now
what's-
there's 2 left. There's 2 left.
All right.
One is in the web and one is on the ground?
They're both on
What
the
about
ground.
the new
Okay.
one that emerged?
Right.
Oh, that one's on the ground.
That one's on the ground. Yeah.
Is that the other one that's alive? That's the one that's in front of me. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Next up is March. You've got these 2 spiders on the ground near you. What would you like to do?
How close are they both to me? They're both within 5 feet?
One's within 5 feet, and the other one is about 10 feet away, just emerging from the trees.
Okay. Well, the one within 5 feet, I want to warhammer it.
Okay. Do it.
Mm-hmm.
24.
Yeah. 24 hits.
Yeah.
Actually, it's 25. But I can't do math. I'm so sorry.
Even more hit.
This guy. Okay. Oh, wait, no, that's the wrong one. Sorry. Oh, shit. That is 12 points of bludgeoning. That's max
Woo.
damage.
That's insane.
Heck yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that did not like that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, is that the end of your turn?
Yeah.
Okay.
I just really want to kill the spiders because I'm not a fan of them. So I'm just going to continue to sit there with my warhammer and my shield.
Next up, top of the order, Flynn. You are now on the ground.
Yep. Am I
You are
prone?
in the fight. Make a make an acrobatics check.
Sure. Hold on one sec. Let's see. 14.
You are not prone.
Okay.
You landed on your feet.
I have my short sword in my one hand, so I'll just reach back, grab my shield, and look at the one that newly emerged. That's kind of a little distance. Seeing that the party's kind of handling the one that's kind of bloodied and messed up, I'm going to run over to the new one and intercept it before it can get to my party. Run up and just give it a stab.
Okay, make an attack roll.
Ah! Ooh. Maybe. Not bad. 13?
13 does not hit.
Okay, well, I'll still get
13
in melee
just
with it.
misses.
Just like yell at it, like, come on, you little shit.
Okay.
Oop.
Olma, what would you like to do?
Something crazy.
Okay.
Yes, do it.
Oh man.
No, I'm not gonna do anything.
Yeah, do
Come on,
it.
guys. No,
Come
I'm
on.
I meant
Come
crazy
on.
for myself. I don't mean crazy for like anybody else. Seeing as how much trouble I was having cutting the webbing free, I'm actually going to like just like take my torch and put it as close to my legs as I can and just burn away the web around my legs and like just kind of like knowing I'm probably gonna burn myself.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So make an attack roll for me.
Is it an attack roll? Like, because I have a disadvantage for attack rolls, but this is more just putting it by my legs. So
Yeah. So this is just going to be a straight roll.
Okay. Straight roll, nothing added, is a 7.
A 7. Okay. So, what is your AC?
13.
A 13. Okay. So you are able to set fire to the web without setting fire to yourself.
Cool.
So let's see.
I could roll my damage.
Yeah. What's the damage of a torch?
It's a really good question.
Probably a D4, right?
I'm going to say it's a D6.
A D6? Okay.
That's what I'm going to rule. So roll that D6.
2.
2. Okay. It completely burns away any restraints that you still have, like some spider web on you. It's still sort of that weird
Residue.
texture. Yeah. But you are now free from the restraints.
Nice.
I like just kind of sigh. Okay. And I'm incredibly grateful that I didn't hurt myself.
All right. Next up is the one of the spiders that's on the ground, also very hurt. It's going to try and turn and run, but March and Kellic are both within melee range of it. So you guys are both going to get opportunity attacks if you would like.
Kill it.
Is
Kill
it
it
still fairy fired, or is that not this one?
This one is also fairy fired. Yeah. So you both get that at advantage.
Heck yeah.
So that for me is a 21 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
Should I even bother? I mean, I did, but
You should.
I mean,
because
yeah, go for it.
I'm swinging
Yeah.
a sickle at it. So I think you
okay,
might-
that's 19.
Yeah, 19 hits. Both of you guys can roll your damage.
Oh shit, 11.
Nice. I did 2.
11
2 damage.
in bludgeoning.
Very obviously March's attack that killed it, but Kalik was also there to sort of help.
That's right.
But very,
We on the edge with you, you right bastard!
Really,
I just kind of like half stab it.
you just sort of just half stab it, and then March again with a huge swing over her head, just completely decimates this thing with this crunch and then just a smush sound once it breaks past that initial shell. Okay, that's going to be that spider's turn. His turn was to die. So next up, seeing that all of the other spiders are now dead, the last spider is going to also run. I don't think it was within melee range of anyone. It was 10 feet away. So it is going to
I
attempt
ran up to it.
run.
Well,
Oh,
yeah.
that's right. I'm sorry. Flynn was right next to it.
I just took it only took a little bit of damage.
Yes.
I'm just gonna let it run. Just let it
Okay.
run away.
As this last spider flees off into the distance, we are now out of combat.
Whew.
Kellic, we brought the bodies down. Can you take a look at them? And I'll run over and try and start seeing if I can cut them out of there. Go to where their face might be and cut it out.
Yeah, I'll take a look, see what's going on with the bodies. Let's I'd get my sickle as well. I quickly wipe the spider blood off of the sickle on the gown of me.
Robe. As you run up, and I'm like there kind of working on it, as you arrive, I'll kind of just turn to you and kind of like stop for a second, put my hand on your shoulder and just be like, hey man, you did a really great job.
Thank you. You as well, Finn. Well done getting the bodies, keeping the eyes on the prize, as it were.
We're a pretty good team.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's get these guys out.
Let's
help
these people.
And I'm going to walk up to the other body and say,
I have a few weeds and herbs that might be able to help revive one of them. May not bring them up to their full strength, but they might make them conscious.
and I sort of...
What if they're dead?
Well, let's find out, and I'll just start cutting away, and hopefully
we got to make sure they're getting oxygen first things. Yeah, so I'm probably going to cut around where the head is.
I am instinctually going to go over to Alma just sort of, in a way that looks like I'm trying to be like stealthy about it. Just like I just want to look at her and make sure she's okay. But I'm clearly very obviously going over to be like, you okay? Oh, okay, good. You're fine. All right. Ooh, look at that.
I'm a little sticky.
Yeah, that stuff was not fun.
I'll be okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah, knew you would. You're fine. You got it. At least you didn't disappear. Very proud of you for not just disappearing out of existence.
Yeah, not this time. No, it was all good.
Oh, good. Okay. Let's see if these guys are alive, sleeping, poisoned. Who knows?
You're a little sticky too.
Yeah, well, I don't shower. What's it matter? What's more gunk and dirt and residue?
Gross.
So, Kellic and Flynn, you guys are heading over.
I'm looking at Flynn kind of like,
are they related? Like, what is the relationship? It's also gross.
I don't know, but it seems strange. So we're just cutting away.
Yeah, as we're cutting, yeah.
Okay, you guys cut away, and as you guys get around to sort of the head and the face area, you cut away and you see two very obviously elven features of these faces. If you guys want, you can both make medicine checks to determine the how these guys are doing.
Can I give him advantage in lieu of rolling for myself?
Yeah,
I mean,
definitely.
It has been 6 to 7 days.
We'll see.
So
yeah, I only have a +2, so you probably have a better bonus.
I'm also using my inspiration.
Heck yeah.
So that total 18 total.
18 total. These guys are just on the brink of death. They're not dead, but these guys maybe have a couple hours left.
All right,
are these all the bodies that we've seen, or just the two? Or are there
just
more?
The two?
Just two. Okay.
I'm sorry. Are you guys telling us that they're alive, or
I'm
saying?
just going to immediately say I'm going to pull out my medical kit. I've got a little bit of healing supplies left that I can use, and I'm going to just like immediately turn to Shreya and be like, Shreya, whatever you got, we're going to need it right away to keep these guys alive.
I'm going to walk over to them and pull out the potion I collected earlier and say, I have this.
Yes, I think it's probably necessary here. Unless, Shreya, do you know, does your medicine have restorative powers, or is it just sort of an ease kind of
I don't think what I currently have in my supplies would be able to actually restore strength, only to make conscious.
Well, it's worth a shot to see if they're doing all right mentally, because our friend back at your commune there was not even, barely able to stand.
Shreya, do you know these people? Do you recognize them?
I
They're
look at
probably
their
from your
features
place.
and examine them closely. Do I recognize any of them? Either of them?
Yes, you recognize them just from seeing them in passing. You don't know them by name.
So they're definitely from
But,
the town, so at least there's that.
They're definitely from the commune.
Yes, we should do everything we can to help them. They are of the mythical beyond where the forest united all these elves, and they're one and the same of this family of elves. We must get them back.
Is this a regular healing potion, greater healing potion, 2d4 or 4d4?
This is just your standard healing potion.
2d4 plus 2?
2d4 plus 2.
What's the spell that...
So, Oma, you give that one to the one that Flynn just freed,
Cool.
Minister and stuff.
That's 8 points of healing.
Cool.
Nice.
Okay.
And for mine, he gets, I don't know what his hit die are, because that affects this as well. He gets 5 hit points from my application of my healing kit, plus an additional HP equal to his maximum number of hit die.
Okay. So both of these guys, you can see as soon as you guys administer your potions and the things to heal them, immediately color begins to flush back into their faces, and they begin to fill out a little bit more, and you can see a breath come to each of their chests, and they just sort of stir a little bit in their state.
They're
conscious?
still unconscious?
Or are they just like...
They're very slowly coming back to consciousness.
I'm going to
Right.
start to pull out some rations from my bag and just kind of like prepare them so that once they kind of are awakened, I have my water skin and I've got some rations to kind of give them nourishment right away.
Flynn will start working on getting the rest of the webs off of their body, so when they do come to consciousness, they're not still half in a web. So like he'll just start like finalizing that so we can potentially pull them out now that we have them revived.
Okay. And with that, you see one of them begins to awaken a little bit more than the other one. The one that Olma gave the healing potion to is still a little bit more unconscious, sort of just dipping in and out. But the one that Kellic helped out is their eyes are beginning to open, and they try and sit up a little bit.
Kellic just sighs with relief. Right. Hey there. You coming too?
Hi. Yeah.
I'm still like pulling webbing off of him.
Yeah.
Just like cutting it, severing it, pulling it away as we go.
And he starts to reach his arms around and begins pulling the webbing away as well.
Yeah, can you see straight? I'll cast a light cantrip on the tip of my finger and like wave it between his eyes to see if he's calibrated okay, if he's doing.
He sort of winces a little bit just at the adjustment that his eyes need for the light, but eventually he begins to follow the light.
Does he seem to be feverish? Do either of them, or do they seem to have any of the affliction that Alothar had?
No, he begins to. It seems like they're coming to consciousness just fine.
Yeah, he's not afraid of the light that he holds up to his eyes. Cool.
No, there was an initial adjustment just because it's very dark around here, but beyond that, no.
You both must be famished.
And I reach into the ground and I pull up, like, I just plunge my hand into the earth and pull up some dirt. And as I do, little, like, vines start growing out of the dirt and little, like, berries start sprouting out of my hand, and I offer it to them.
I see this and I look at the rations in my hand and look at his berries and I just wrap up my rations and put them away.
So the one conscious elf reaches out and grabs one and pops the berry into his mouth. And he looks at you guys and he looks around at the forest surrounding him and he goes, "Oh, so the darkness has spread."
That's right. We're out here trying to figure out what's going on, and we were lucky to come across you.
Do you remember anything? How you got here?
A little bit. It's a little bit foggy, but I think, yeah, we were chasing some goblins out here, and we came across. There was a larger goblin camp out here, and we were taken prisoner for a little bit, but we were able to break free and get out only after a couple hours. But wait, are you guys? Where did you guys come from?
The commune, your
the
house.
town.
You guys came. How long has it been? How long have we been here?
Like
maybe a few
6
days.
or 7 days.
Okay,
That was the last time anybody at the commune saw you.
We tried to stop him from getting back. Alothar took something. We tried to stop him from getting back. Tell me he did not make it back.
No, he's there now.
He's there now in your temple, not
What
looking so great.
What did he take?
I don't know exactly what it was, but this is not good at all. We need to go now. And that's where we're going to end this session. We're going to call it right there.
Hey everyone, this is Bridget. I play March on Venture Forth. Thank you so much for listening. We really hope you enjoyed this episode. If you're into what you're hearing and you want to check us out further, you can give us a follow on Instagram at VentureForthD&D for some daily updates, as well as our interactive Choose Your Own Adventure style Insta stories. You can also support our little podcast by finding us on Patreon and helping to sponsor the Venture Forth crew through our varying levels of membership. And of course, if you're over on Clubhouse, don't forget to join us on Thursdays for our weekly one-shot adventures and all things D&D chats. Thanks so much for tuning in, and remember, never let the spooky vibes scare you off. See you next time.